Whoa. What? No. It's seriously? Wow. Hello and welcome to my spooky Halloween special. Hello and welcome to my Halloween special. So, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I did a video sort of similar to this last year, and my audio was messed up. There was like no way of redeeming it, so I didn't get to post it last year. So now I'm gonna do the same thing this year and see how it goes. So, Halloween is coming up, October 31st. This year in 2020, also, can we talk about this? This Halloween specifically, okay, this year in 2020, October, the first day of October and the last day of October are a full moon, you guys. That doesn't happen that often. I guess maybe it could. I honestly don't really know that. But, no, that's like some spooky stuff. In 2020, like as if it's not spooky enough already, you know what I mean? Apparently, the tradition originated with the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain, when people would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. In the 8th century, Pope Gregory III designated November 1st as a time to honor all saints. Yeah, so the way I know Halloween is as All Hallows Eve, because November 1st is All Saints Day in the Catholic Church. So it was like the night when all the ghosts, all the spirits are allowed to roam the streets. I guess I don't even know. I'm looking at this on history.com. Is the first thing that came up. That's where we're starting. Soon, All Saints Day incorporated some of the traditions of Samhain, S-A-M-H-A-I-N. The evening before was known as All Hallows Eve and later Halloween. Over time, Halloween evolved into a day of activities like trick-or-treating, carving jack-o'-lanterns, festive gatherings, donning costumes, and eating treats. What is donning? D-O-N-N-I-N-G. My name's Dawn and I'm donning. Ugh. Allergies are a bitch. Okay. Oh. Right here it says that festival is pronounced Samhain. So long story short, the pronunciation said S-O-W-I-N. So I read it Samhain. Because I was thinking so like S-E-W. I guess it's totally sow. Now that I'm thinking back on it. But it's sow like cow. Not so. So it's Samhain. So I pronounce it wrong the entire video, and I apologize. Okay. Does not look like it, but I'll pronounce it that way. Samhain. The Celts, who lived 2,000 years ago, mostly in the area that is now Ireland, United Kingdom, and northern France, celebrated their new year on November 1st. The day marked the end of summer and the harvest, and the beginning of the dark, cold winter, a time of year that was often associated with human death. Celts believed that on the night before the new year, the boundary between the worlds of the living and the dead became blurred. On the night of October 31st, they celebrated Samhain, when it was believed that the ghosts of the dead returned to Earth. Cults thought that the presence of otherworldly spirits made it easier for the Druids, the Celtic priests, to make predictions about the future. For a people entirely dependent on the volatile natural world, these prophecies were an important source of comfort during the long dark winter. To commemorate the event, Druids built huge sacred bonfires where the people gathered and burn crops and animals as sacrifices to the Celtic deities. During the celebration, the Celts wore costumes, typically consisting of animal heads and skins, and attempting to tell each other's fortunes. Okay. When the celebration was over, they relit their hearth fires to help protect them during the coming winter. Ooh, here's a little fast, fun fact. Like, I've been listening to the Office Ladies podcast. If you don't listen to it, you should. It's so good. If you like The Office, the TV show, the US version, Angela and Pam in real life are best friends, and they have a podcast where they go episode by episode talking about The Office and all the behind the scenes stuff. It's so good, but they always have fast facts at the beginning. But here's a fast fact for you guys. Did you know 1/4 of all of the candy sold annually in the US is purchased for Halloween? 1/4. That's a lot. Okay. So I'm going to go through a couple of different Halloween traditions and learn about where they came from, or like why we do them at all in the first place, why they're associated with Halloween. you know, that whole situation. I just remember doing this video last year and reading some crazy facts. I don't remember what they were. I don't even remember like what the premise of the video was. I just remember learning a lot of fun things. So I'm gonna go try to find what I found last year. We're just gonna learn lots of fun facts. That's what this is about. Okay, first tradition, trick-or-treating. So, although it is unknown precisely where and when the phrase trick-or-treat was coined, the custom had been firmly established in American popular culture by 1951, when trick-or-treating was depicted in the Peanuts comic strip. In 1952, Disney produced a cartoon called Trick or Treat featuring Donald Duck and his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Okay, so by the 50s, we know it was a thing. I can't believe it was that recent, though. Like, there's no way. Like, in the 50s is when trick-or-treating started? Like, what do they do? Like, do we know anything about the world before that? Like, what were they doing? How do you not know? I just don't know. During some Celtic celebrations of, what was it, Samhain? In later centuries, people began dressing as ghosts, demons, and other malevolent creatures, performing antics in exchange for food and drink. This custom, known as mumming, dates back to the Middle Ages and is thought to be an antecedent of trick-or-treating. Okay, so they would just go to, like, door to door. Well, first it started out as, like, street performing, it sounds like. And then I guess it kind of worked its way to going to, like, you just ring everyone's doorbell and they give you something on Halloween, I guess. So, early Christian and medieval roots of trick-or-treating. Okay. By the 9th century, Christianity had spread to Celtic lands. Ugh, I don't even like history that much. I'm literally like, blah, 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 skim. They took this over, and then they did this. Poor people would visit the house. This is in 1000 AD. Poor people would visit the houses of wealthier families and receive pastries called soul cakes in exchange for a promise to pray for the souls of the homeowner's dead relatives. Known as souling, the practice was later taken up by children who would go from door to door asking for gifts such as food, money, and ale. Ale? Like beer? You're gonna send your child to another neighborhood to get beer for you? Or like to beg for that's crazy. Times have been a-changing, I'm telling you. In Scotland and Ireland, young people took part in a tradition called guising, dressing up in a costume and accepting offerings from various households. Rather than pledging to pray for the dead, they would sing a song, recite a poem, or tell a joke, or perform another sort of trick before collecting their treat, which typically consisted of fruit, nuts, or coins. Okay, I kind of love that. Like, this is a chance for people, this is an opportunity for people to make money and to like show their talents, and I don't know. What a cool time. Oh God. Yeah, they would literally just send children around. Okay, in 1605, British children wore masks and carried effigies while begging for pennies. It was supposed to commemorate the foiling of the gunpowder plot. I don't know why sending your children to beg for things has any sort of commemoration to anything related to gunpowder. Something's just not clicking. All that. Oh, so this very much came from like Ireland, northern UK type of a area, because all of the Irish immigrants, there was an Irish potato famine in the early 1800s, and a lot of immigrants from there were coming to America, and they started doing like the trick-or-treat thing, which helped popularize it in America. By the 1920s, pranks had become a Halloween activity of choice for rowdy young people. Okay, so in the 20s, I guess, is maybe when they started like egging houses, destroying jack-o'-lanterns, toilet TPing. Oh, the Great Depression exacerbated the problem, with Halloween mischief often devolving into vandalism, physical assaults, and sporadic acts of violence. I am honestly a little worried that might happen this Halloween. Because of 2020, it's right before the election. This year is cursed anyway, and everyone knows that. I'm not really into super spiritual stuff like that either, so when I say that this year's cursed, I'm just like joking around. I don't actually know if there's a real curse or anything going on, but I do know that it's a full moon on Halloween, a couple days before the election. We all know how this year has just been chaos and a half, so I'm just like, everyone be nice on Halloween, please. With the outbreak of World War II, when sugar rationing meant that there were few treats to hand out, at the height of the post-war baby boom, trick-or-treating reclaimed its place among Halloween customs. The boomers brought Halloween back for us. It quickly became standard practice for millions of Americans. Oh my god. I don't like the way this sentence is formed, but I'll read it anyway. It quickly became standard practice for millions of children in America's cities and newly built suburbs. No longer constrained by sugar rationing, candy companies capitalized on the lucrative ritual, launching national advertisement campaigns specifically aimed at Halloween. Okay, so it was a way for us to get out of the depression too. They kind of like used that to help us. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Who invented candy corn? That is an amazing question. Whether you like it, hate it, or just use it to decorate, you probably think of candy corn as a Halloween treat. But in the beginning, it was associated with more with chickens. They were made in the 80s. Oh, this is when they had made like the pumpkin ones, and they had chestnuts and turnips, and they're supposed to be like agricultural products and stuff like that. Wow. Okay. Oral histories identify the inventor of candy corn as George Renninger, an employee at Wonderley Candy Company in Philadelphia. Wonderley is the first company to sell these multicolored treats. Whoa. What? No. It's seriously? Wow. Because before World War I, most Americans didn't think of corn as people food. Corn was only for like chickens. Like humans, at least in America, were not eating corn. So candy corn was called chicken feed. It was supposed to resemble like the chicken's food. That's so weird. Now corn is like big time crop. Now it's like, isn't corn one of the most like produced grains in the world? Isn't it like, oh my god, that's so funny. It wasn't people food. Corn was coarse and cheap and not very tasty. Good food for pigs and chickens. It wasn't until wartime, wheat shortages in 1917, that any but the poorest Americans would have considered corn flour, cornmeal, or cornbread acceptable foodstuffs. Even after World War I, candy corn maintained its association. I literally cannot talk. Candy corn maintained its association with chickens. Packages of Golett's candy corn from the 1920s displayed a rooster and the motto, King of the Candy Corn Fields. Wow, Mr. Chicken. Next tradition we've got is bobbing for apples, okay? Bobbing for apples has been an autumn tradition for hundreds of years. Despite its presence at Halloween parties and festivals today, however, its origins are more rooted in love and romance than tricks and treats. This is one of the facts that I found when I did my video before. Okay. In fact, it began as a British courting ritual, popular among young ladies and their potential beaux. Okay, so this bobbing for apples is the Tinder of ancient times. I'm telling you. I guess it's not even ancient. It's like within the last couple hundred years, I think, but I don't know. Let's keep reading. There were several variations of the game. In one set of rules, each apple was assigned to a potential mate. So each apple you would put as like Tommy and Josh and I was trying to think of like old names and I couldn't think of any. So all of your potential suitors are an apple and you like bob for them, and whoever you get, oh okay, the bobber would then attempt to bite into the apple named for the young man she desired. If it only took her one try, they were destined for romance. If she succeeded with her second attempt, he would court her, but their love would fade. If it took 3 tries, their relationship was doomed. Another approach to the game was a race to be the first to bite an apple. The first to emerge successful would be the first to marry. That's what I thought. Wow. A related superstition suggests that if a girl put the apple she had bitten under her pillow, she would see her future soulmate in her dreams that night. Wow. Eventually, the game declined in popularity, and by the 1800s, it was commonly only in Ireland and other areas of England. At the end of the century, though, Americans exploring their immigrant roots decided to bring back this Celtic fall tradition as a game for both children and adults at Halloween parties. Today, some parents may keep their kids away from the tub of apples for fear of spreading germs, but bobbing for apples is a comparatively safe tradition when compared to other old apple-centric Halloween pastime, Snap Apple. Okay, so the dangerous version of bobbing for apples is Snap Apple. In the game of Snap Apple, an apple was speared on one end of a stick while a lit candle was fixed at the other end. The stick was spun around and the participant's goal was to take a bite of the apple, avoiding a face full of hot candle wax. Okay, I'm trying to envision this here. So you've got your stick. You have to put the apple through it. I don't have anything that I can put through this. But pretend there's an apple. An apple was speared on one end of a stick, while a candle was fixed to the other end. The other end of the apple or the other end of the stick? I really can't imagine this. So, like, are they saying that you get a stick, the apple is on this side, and there's a candle on this side, and then you just go like that, you just spin it around? Or is it like, you're holding it like this, there's an apple here, and then there's a candle on the other side of the apple? The stick was spun around, and the participant's goal was to take a bite of the apple, avoiding a face full of hot candle wax. I just can't imagine how that's set up, but I also don't really want to play, because that sounds horrifying. Okay. Jack-o'-lanterns. This is an interesting one. They originated in Ireland using turnips instead of pumpkins, and they're supposedly based on a legend about a man named Stingy Jack, or Stingy Jack. Those two words are spelled the same, right? Stingy and stingy? I don't know. Who repeatedly trapped the devil and only let him go on the condition that Jack would never go to hell. When he died, however, Jack learned that heaven didn't really want his soul either, so he was condemned to wander Earth as a ghost for all eternity. Just like a horrifying purgatory. The devil gave Jack a lump of burning coal in a carved out turnip to light his way. Eventually, locals began carving frightened faces to their own gourds to scare off evil spirits. I kind of love that. I love when there's like a legend behind it. I don't know. I'm just like, ooh. Yeah, I think that's all the Halloween traditions I'm going to talk about today. Thank you so much for watching. Please, if you like this, please subscribe. I am almost at 1,000 subscribers. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. That would be super awesome. So if you could please hit the subscribe button, that'd be great. And then I can get a community tab and I can post on YouTube and like interact with you guys a lot more on the platform. I'll get a lot more perks and then I can get monetized too, or not right when I hit 1,000. I still need more watch hours, so keep watching my videos and subscribe. I'll be posting a couple more Halloween videos before the end of the month, and then yeah, music stuff, commentary stuff, whatever. Just stick around. Thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week or the week after. Bye.